All right, all right, man. I know y'all been waiting for this video. It wasn't to the fact that I drug my feet that I didn't want to do this video. Um, it was the fact that I started watching the game after he threw that first pick. Uh, that's when I tuned it out. When he threw that first pick, I was done. I mean, he threw that first pick. I was done. So I don't know nothing that happened after that. I've heard and seen like little small clips on social media. Um, I knew it was a bad matchup. I mean, and also I'm glad I waited because just reading some posts and some fan input where a lot of the fans are like, they giving some good input. And, one thing a guy said on a particular, I think it was I forget, it was an Detroit Instagram page, sports page. And he made an excellent point. And I didn't really even think about this. And he said that the guy said that Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson weren't locked in. They had one foot in out the door. And, people were saying, well, I wish they would you know, wait to, do the interview process. And I think that should be the case. But nonetheless, I know a lot of people talking about what should they change, what should they attack in the offseason. And I'll get to those in the next few days. But check out the Lions post game reaction playlist. Detroit Lions talk playlist actually was downtown. I went for the Pistons game. They lost. KD had like a few points at the half, and people were saying, "FKD, you messed my parlay up." I told him, "Be cool, man. KD gonna get it done. He gonna get your money." And what did KD do? KD got your money. He went for 36, but and they lost. But it was a good time. I love the Pistons game. Appreciate the guy because I got there like 45 minutes early to get a Jalen Head bobblehead, and it's kind of unique bobblehead too. And it was sold out or whatever. And the guy that was sitting next to me, he actually gave me his, offered to buy one. He said he wanted to see if his homeboy wanted it, and his homeboy said no, so he just gave it to me. So I appreciate him for giving me the Jalen Durham bobblehead. It's somewhere. I was over there. Here, I'll show y'all real quick. Give me a second. I have a Chauncey one. My uncle gave me. I have a Chauncey one. My uncle gave me when he was a Finals MVP. This somewhere I broke the legs, but I didn't open it. But this is without the glare. This is pretty much what he's like. The bobblehead look like. So appreciate that guy for giving that to me, man. I enjoy the piston experience a lot more. I explain that another time or at the end of the video. So I'll start watching after he threw the pick. I was downtown in the ruckus, came back. I was done after that. I knew it was over with. You kind of can see it with Jared Goff the previous week. Goff has these phases that he go through. Last year, he went through his phase was right around Thanksgiving. The Chicago game, Green Bay, I'm talking about 2 seasons ago when they gave Green Bay the victory and he just started throwing picks and he just started turning over. So, he go through those ups and downs or whatever where he started throwing picks. And if you had to ask me, we knew he was coming in defensively compromised. We knew that already. So I feel like the game plan should have been run the football, keep running the football. They refused to do that. Ben Johnson wanted to get cute on the fumble, was 3rd and 2. That they probably would have scored a touchdown. I think that would have made it 14-3 or something like that. I never understood this concept. Where it's 3rd and short, and you spread the defense out and go 5 wide, or you don't have a back in the backfield. I didn't understand that. They know you're not running it, so we know you passing it. And Armstrong, Jared Goff, being the weak bitch that he is in the pocket, fumbled the ball. I was like, all right, they took points off the board. He fumbled it. Even if you'd have held it, it would have been a field goal. You would have been up 10-3. But he fumbled it. I think they turned around and scored. Defense couldn't stop nobody. They tried the best. It's hard to go out there, and what's so messed up about it is you start off last year with Kendall Vitor, as your corner, and then you end this season with Kendall Vitor as your cornerback, and Defensively, he called they split wide, stacked the receivers out wide, branch blitzes. Terry McLaurin goes 96 yards. I think that was the next play. Then they play a zone with Demonte Brown. They does these drag route, this deep crossing route. He go deep and defensively. I think they did what they were supposed to do defensively from a schematic standpoint of view. They blitzed, and then Emmeek Roberts got hurt on the first play. I walked in the door coming from downtown. He holding his arm, crying. I'm like, yeah, that's just what the season really represented at this point. And that was it at that point. I think the defense didn't have a chance. So, you know, so you had to coming into the game. Ben Johnson thing should have been protect his defense, not getting a shootout. Protect his defense, and run the ball. They should have ran the ball 40, 50 times last night. 40, 50, easy. Obviously David Montgomery wasn't healthy, but they should have ran it 40, 50 times if it had to be with Gibbs. And they didn't do it. He wanted to get cute and put it in Jared Goff's hands, and they didn't run the ball. They didn't run the ball. They should have just ran it, played ball control, protect that defense. But inevitably, it was just too many injuries. Amik Roberts was the last straw. Amik Roberts, Carlton Davis, and Ennis Rackstraw. I mean, he basically redshirted this season. That's pretty much what Ennis Rackstraw did. People say, go get a corner, go get a corner. I mean, you drafted Rackstraw and you drafted Terrion Arnold, and I told you I was a clear Quinyon Mitchell was the superior corner. That was common sense, but obviously they took him before us. Terrion is straight, but you got two corners. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's the question about it. But, then Goff throws the pick. He was done. He just was going through one of his stretches at the wrong time. And I personally think it's time to move on. I personally really do. I personally do. I think the pocket quarterback is dead in the NFL. I mean, you start going through the teams. Caleb Williams is mobile. Jordan Love is mobile. Sam Darnold not, but JJ McCarthy will be. You start going down. Bryce Young is mobile. Derek Carr isn't. Baker is, he's solid. He's respectable, mobile. He can get away. More mobile than Jared Goff. Michael Penix, he mobile. He may not move a lot because of the knee injuries, but he is mobile. Dak is mobile, even though the ankle injury. Jalen Hurts is mobile. Jaden Daniels, as you've seen last night, he was mobile. He is mobile, and we'll see what the Giants do. But at the time, Danny Dimes wasn't mobile. You go down, Stafford is more mobile than Goff, but, he older. Pocket quarterback. Kyler is mobile. Geno is solid. He's mobile. He's okay. He can run. And then, Brock Purdy's a pocket quarterback. So you go through the NFC, and we only got three or four traditional pocket quarterbacks: Stafford, Purdy, Carr, Goff. So pocket quarterbacks did. I'd rather, you trying to win it with Jared Goff. I know you paid him. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So I would just prefer. I know Hendon Hooker was inactive yesterday for Teddy Bridgewater. I'd just rather roll with Hendon Hooker. I'd rather go through those lumps and bumps with Hendon Hooker, or trade up and get Shador or Cam Ward. I'd rather just do that. I ain't gonna cap with you. I'm not about to waste my time with Jared Goff. Jared Goff had receivers. He had running backs. He had everything you need. He's a klutz. He's too clumsy. I need somebody that can get out there. And I'm not saying they have to go out there and run the read out. Somebody like Stroud. Like yesterday, you had to put a pistol to his head. He knew he had to run yesterday. You had to put a pistol to his head, but he knew I had to use my legs, and he did yesterday. They cheated him, I heard. I watched a little bit at the game, at the Piston game, but they cheated Houston, I heard. But, he ran yesterday. And had he ran versus Georgia, would be a different conversation. But, he knew I had to use my legs for us to be competitive. We was out three receivers. So, I mean, with some talk about a penalty, 12 men on the field. I don't know what that happened with that. People were saying that was the final straw. People was talking about Myra St. Brown. I don't know what he did. Um, but maybe it was the coordinators both had one foot in the door and one foot. That's fine, you know. I just feel that Hendon Hooker will give you more a dual opportunity. I'd rather just take my lunch. If you don't believe in them, then then I would not. You know, only they know the answer to that. If they don't believe in them, move on or continue to develop them. But at this point with golf ain't gonna cut it. Golf ain't gonna. He's just he too stiff in the pocket. He too much a weak bitch. And that's just my opinion. He too weak. So you're not gonna win it with golf. So people talk about, well, and I'm to get to this, what the Lions need to do. And I mean, obviously, one thing nobody's talking about, put a premium on durability. Stop drafting all these broken up players, bro. Believe it or not, injury prone players are contagious. You notice that? Once you bring them across your team, they contagious. But Washington played with no pressure on them. They weathered the storm, and Jaden Daniels, it was easy for him. The defense was that bad last night. No pass rush. And what you expect? You lost to Lee McNeil, Pro Bowler, Aiden Hutchinson, Pro Bowler, Michael Davenport. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, you was hinging your faith on Darius Smith and Levi Onwuzurike to make some hay. So durability was huge. I mean, you lost two linebackers, Derek Barnes, Michael Rodrigo, and is only playing out there with a half an arm. So injuries played a huge part to him. It just proves that it was cursed. I believe if the Lions were healthier on the side of the ball, lost Carlton Davis, obviously beginning of the game, lost to Meek Roberts. If they were completely healthy defensively, I feel like they would have been a top 2 or 3 defense. But there are some things they do need to address as far as that defense in general, if healthy. And I just think they need to find a linebacker that can run. They need to find a linebacker that can truly run, and they can really go to point A, point Z, and maybe the next defensive end, pass rusher they look to get, he has to be an athlete. He has to be, somebody that can close that gap with Aiden Hutchinson. And offensively, I mean, if anything, they need a receiver they can depend on. Amara-Ross cool, but on the outside, they need somebody on the outside that can make it happen. Jameson Williams is cool, and you're just waiting to see him make that next step. And he made a step this year, but with Goff, he just everything got to be right around him. He can't make no plays off improv. But I had a feeling they was losing. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not shocked if they lost. I kind of knew the defense, and then when Amit got hurt when I walked through the door. And then after Amit got hurt, I'm sitting there chilling. I'm sitting there chilling and shit. And I'm thinking that, it was 13 minutes and some seconds left. And they was like, oh, Detroit went 3-and-out in their first drive. And I was like, yeah, they in trouble. So I already knew. I was tired. I'm like, they already went 3-and-out, lost to Meek Roberts. So it's an uphill battle now. And then, really when I really wanted to really turn that shit off, but I gave him a little bit of leeway. I really wanted to turn that shit off. 3rd and 2, and he went empty backfield, and he fumbled. Why? Last year Ben Johnson was the reason we lost that San Francisco game. Let me take you back in the days when I was young and not a kid anymore. I'll take you back to that, man. I'm gonna end the video because I'm really about to get belligerent if I continue to go. And he was 3rd and whatever. It might have been 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. He put St. Brown in the backfield, and he ran the ball with St. Brown on 3rd and 2. Nobody talks about that play before the Josh Reynolds drop. He ain't say, we're going to send St. Brown on a route. They handed it to him. Nobody talk about that play. In the second half, he kept wanting to throw it. People talk about, when Jared Goff missed, Jahmyr Gibbs in the end zone that game against on the Texas route. He missed him in the end zone, and Dan Campbell chose to kick the field goal in San Francisco. So I think, the next offensive coordinator they get in there, dog, if you're going to keep Jared Goff, good luck. But the identity of this team needs to be running the football. Is it time to replace Taylor Decker? Yeah, he too stiff. Zypher time, and I love Zypher, but the left side of that line, they got to change. I hear people say they need a pass rush. I think, what they need to do is find an athletic left tackle. I think you happy with Chris Mahogany at left guard. So they need to find an athletic left tackle if you want to keep Penei Sewell on the right, and you need to find, you got Mahogany. So I think if you had to ask me, I'm going to do a video on this, the priority for the Detroit Lions going into the offseason, I think the number one thing is durability. We want guys that's durable. All this injury-prone motherfuckers on this team, no. The priority is durability. I think the number one thing they need to do is figure out a quarterback. Me personally, I'm ready to move on to Hendon Hooker. I'm not one of those people that say, let's give him a chance. Goff had his chance in the league. I'm moving on to Hendon Hooker. Goff and Ben Johnson go fuck themselves somewhere else. I'm ready to move on or find somebody else. But I do think realistically, as far as a roster move, like the priority, if they're going to stick with Goff, which you're not going to win, so stop getting your hopes up. The priority is the left side of that offensive line. I think they need to get younger, athletic, and I think Mahogany is fine. This left tackle. And then I hear people saying, "Oh, thank you, Detroit Lions, for yours." Man, fuck them. No, thank you. What you thinking them sorry motherfuckers for? They did what they always did. They just finding new ways. They're finding more. They finding new ways / being more creative in how to let us down. That's it. We like, damn, we got a defense and an offense this year. Special teams good. Defense started dropping like fries. Yeah, and I say like fries at McDonald's. Start dropping. They just find new ways to fuck. I seen a punter lose the game. I seen them lose blowouts. I see them lose games where they make the playoffs. They playing their backup quarterback and Matt Flynn. I seen them lose games every which way. And completely healthy. And this is Brian Holmes' fault. He keep getting these bums like Marcus Davenport, these injury-prone ass motherfuckers he keep picking. Put a premium on durability. Look here, Brad Holmes. The first thing you should be when you evaluating free agency, drafty, durability. Is this motherfucker durable? We knew Carlton Davis was not durable. At least he was known to miss a couple games, right? Who else got knocked out of here? We knew Marcus Davenport history. He had no durability. So there's at least two I could think of. Durability is, should be the number one thing they look at, right? But also want to thank two guys who historically didn't stay durable, who stayed fairly durable this year, and that was Anzarike, who missed a couple games, and Josh Pascal. So without them two, we wouldn't even have made it this far. They became more durable. But the number one thing he need to go into the office, it ain't an offensive coordinator. It ain't about that hoe ass quarterback. It ain't about the hoe ass coordinators that basically was already gone and didn't do their job and didn't remain professional. I agree with that guy. It's durability. Durability. Stop trying to save the children with injury-prone players. Stop feeling bad. Durability. So that's all I got to say, man. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The season was an epic failure. I'd rather them not made the playoffs. I'd rather them not done it. Just let me down like y'all used to earlier in the season. Y'all embarrassed the city of Detroit. The Pistons lost last night. The Red Wings lost. The Lions lost. It was an embarrassment. So, no, it's not thank you to the Detroit Lions. It's not thank you. Y'all don't deserve a thank you. We don't appreciate y'all. The economy does. And I say this, too. The Detroit Lions, y'all need to get everybody, all the Detroit fans that bought some tickets, and y'all raise the prices. In the UK, they don't let them price gouge like that. I've been a fan my whole life, 30 plus years, right? Well over 30 years. And a lot of them fans been lifetime fans. Why would you allow them to raise those ticket prices up that high? We've been riding with y'all since the Silver Dome, 0-16. Them tickets should never been that high. Them tickets should never been that high. I think that's very disrespectful, very tasteless, very classless. And at some point, when is America going to stop butt breaking Americans with capitalism? Building these big ass cheap houses. They building these cheap houses, overpaying us. These guys can buy and sell resell tickets and raise the prices up and buy them all up and sell them. In the UK, they don't allow that. In a lot of other countries, once you buy a property, you own it. You don't have to pay property taxes. At what point are they gonna stop fucking Americans, bro? At what point is they gonna start fucking us? You get that's why a lot of people not loyal no more. You don't get any loyalty in America no more. There's no loyalty because they're not loyal to us. But hey, Detroit Lions prediction, Detroit Lions post game reaction playlist. Hit the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal. Check my other stuff out. I tried to be chill, but I didn't do it immediately after the game because I'm running because they lost or had to wake up, go to get my dog together, go to the gym. I didn't do it because I stopped watching after he threw that pick. So I don't know. My brother called me. He's like, "Yeah, you think they're gonna come back?" No, nigga. Bye. But peace.